Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, my name is Wasim Sadiq and I have been teaching English language for almost 20 years, and today we are going to learn a new lesson of first year English or English 11. So this is basically a story, and the story is titled as A Long Walk Home. A Long Walk Home. Okay, so this one, A Long Walk Home, the title itself is giving us a question, a long walk home. So the question is, what do you think that the story is about? Is it about an adventure or a person traveling back home or whatsoever? So you can think. So this is called pre-reading. That is very important. And after pre-reading, I hope that you know that in reading we focus on three basic things of reading, and three techniques we use. First one is skimming. Okay, I write it here for you. That is the first one, skim. I hope that you know them. Skim. Okay, and second one is scan, and the third one is infer. We will talk about these in detail, but later on, not right now, but you just have to think about it that in grade 10 you have studied about skimming, scanning and inferencing, and here also we are going to infer certain things from the story, that what we learn. The theme of the story is very interesting, and that is character building. Character building. So character itself is something confused, and we think that what is character? Character, that there is a character in a story or somewhere or in a drama. Character, as defined by a dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, is the mental and the moral qualities distinctive, that is different. Distinctive means different to an individual. To an individual, that every individual, every person, every student is having his own character. His own character. So character is very, very important. That's why they have chosen this one, and they are thinking about character building. Now in our book, the book we are studying nowadays, this one, the book, okay, on its page number 127 we have this story, but we have, before going to that story, in very beginning we have, before the content pages, there is something written here. I have copied it there in our board, but this one, see, you can reread it. You have to think a lot about it, that what they are talking about. What they are talking about, they are telling us what is character, and also they are defining. Okay, let's see that what they are talking about. Here we go, and we have written it, and we are going to talk about it. See, here the first thing they say, watch your words. Your words. Your words, each word. You watch your words, they become actions. They become actions. That what we are doing. Our words become our actions. Watch your actions, they become habits, and our actions, they become our habits. Habits, you know, routine that daily we do. It is my habit to do, for example, to walk or to talk, and nowadays I know a lot of our students are having the habit of playing games. My son, my daughter, they are always trying to go for playing games. This became their habit. Now here, watch your habits, they become character. So your habits are going to make your character. So watch your habits, they become character, and watch your character, it becomes your destiny. That is your destiny, that is your future, that is your luck, that is everything for you. And a lot of us say that, well, this is in my destiny, this is my luck. But no, how we are going to analyze all these things? We are going to take care of our words, we are going to take care of our actions, we are going to take care of our habits, and we should take care of our character. That is very, very important, because this is going to make our future. So there is also a very famous saying here. I have written it for you, and it is very common. You must have heard it, and today you are going to listen it again, and you are going to think about it. So here it is: if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. Wealth, cash, we lost. If wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. Okay, health is important. And when character is lost, all is lost. So character is very, very important. We have to take care of our character. We don't have to let down our parents, our teachers, ourselves, and we have to build our character. So there is also another famous quotation. Here I have written it for you. That is, personality can open a door. Personality can open a door, but character keeps it open. You have to think about it. This is also one of very important quotation. You must keep it in your mind, that personality, that you are having very handsome personality, or a girl is having very beautiful personality and appearance. Personality can open a door. They say, oh, welcome, welcome, that you are good, that you are so handsome, so beautiful, come. But how you are going to keep that open, keep that door of opportunities open for you? With your character. Character keeps it open. So character is very, very important. So what normal characteristics we are having? Here I have written some of them. They are truthfulness. That is linked with our story. That's why I put it at the first. Truthfulness. To tell truth. Truthfulness. Then credibility. A person is trusted and believed. And generosity. A person is generous. He gives away. Generous person. And mercy. That he is merciful. He takes care of others. And faithfulness, that he is a believer and he is believed and he believes. So these things are very, very important in the character. The most important one is truthfulness. Now we will go for the story, and after reading the story we will come back to our page number 127 to analyze it, that did we learn something or not. So we are going to go to the book. Well, my dear students, now we are going to read the story. Well, before going to start reading this story, we should know something about a reading technique. In the beginning, I told you that we have skimming, scanning, and inferencing. Skimming is when we are just going to look for a word. Here you see that this is a book, and I have used different right now on this book I have used just one pointer or highlighter, but we just want to look for a word. As on this page, for example, if I ask you, well, I need to find out the word infer or inferences. So you're just going to go through, where is inferencing? Here is it, inferences. Okay, so this is called skimming. Skimming is a good technique that you are looking for a certain information. Skim, like in newspaper, you want to see the sports news. So you just go for sports page and you go for cricket or according to your own interest. Second is scan. Scanning is that when you are going to read something thoroughly, completely from top to bottom. Here I am and I am going to read this story from top to bottom, from A to Z, from alpha to omega. So this is called A to Z. Okay, so that is called scanning. And the third one is that we are going to have is infer. Infer is very important, that something is hidden and we are just going to understand. Like they didn't talk in this story about character building. They didn't say that, well, we are willing to have the theme character building in a long walk home. No, they didn't say, but we understand, we infer, we get this message out that this story is about character building. I hope that you understand these three things, that is scanning, skimming, scanning and inferencing. Skimming, scanning and inferencing. Okay, let's go to read this story. Story is interesting in my point of view. Whenever you read, you don't have to stop, you have to go ahead and read the complete story so you can enjoy the story. Literature is for entertainment as well, but as we are preparing for Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary School final exam, and we need a lot of vocabulary, we need to improve our skills of reading. So I would suggest that you should go with 2 or 3 color highlighters like these, okay, and you are going to underline, or you are just going to highlight the words you feel that, well, this is something new. I am using new, not difficult, because nothing is difficult in this word, only something is new. You are going to try, it will be sorted out. So highlight that one. You are just going to have a new structure, be a very good reader. Well, why did they use this structure? Have another color. Well, you have underlined or you have highlighted with another color. You want to talk about the structure. Later on, when you finish the story, you got the message and then you go ahead. New vocabulary is very important. We are going to read, and as we are just going to read for vocabulary, that is very important for us. I will explain the words. You can underline, and if you still don't get the meaning of a word, you should ask questions in your query sessions. One more thing that is important. Sometimes we just go for easy things. Like I just want to have, why this teacher is just explaining everything is in English. I know, and I can speak Urdu, and I can also speak Arabic. I can explain all these things, but I know it is a bit difficult right now, but it will help you a lot later on. So difficult things are going to make your life easy. Easy things are going to make your life difficult. So be ready. So let's read this one and we will explain the new words. Now, the story. Later on we are going to summarize, and we are going to have all the other what we say, the themes and other stories and links and conflicts we are going to talk. Okay, I grew up in the south of Spain in a little community called Estepona. I was 16 when one morning my father told me I could drive him into a remote village called Mijas, about 18 miles away, on the condition that I take the car to be serviced at a nearby garage. That is the first sentence, a long sentence. Okay, so first and second, 2 sentences are there. I grew up. Here is a word, grew up. Grew up mean develop into an adult. See that there is a boy around 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then he has grown up. Grew up, as right now he was 16 at that time, so we say grown up. We say that teenager, and then we say grown up. So he is a grown up. So what happened? I grew up in the south of Spain. South of Spain, that is a place. Spain, you know, it's a famous country, Spain. and you must have heard about Barcelona, you must have heard about other football clubs there. Okay, Manchester United is in England, but Barcelona and Real Madrid, that is very famous, and a lot of students in Pakistan also nowadays it is common. Spain is very famous. So in a little community called Estepona, Estepona is a name of community. Like we have Punjab, like we have Taxila, like we have Wakent. So that is a proper noun, Estepona. I was 16 when one morning my father told me I could drive him into a remote village. Remote village. Remote, I didn't write it here. Remote, like we are having the remote controls, far away. Far away. Remote village. That village was far away from the town. Okay. So a remote village called Mijas. That was the name of that village, Mijas. About 18 miles away, on the condition, and my father made a condition, and he gave me one condition, that well, there is a condition, and this is the condition, that I take the car to be serviced. And what will I do? That I will take the car to be serviced, that I will take it for service, cleaning, oil changing, little bit repair, maintenance, such type of things. Service at a nearby garage. Garage, I have written here, garage, in normal we say workshop. In Pakistan normally we say workshop. Workshop. Workshop where they repair vehicles. Vehicle mean all type of vehicles, mean cars, buses, trucks, all these things are vehicles. So garage. So he had to take that one. Having just I learned to drive. He had just learned how to drive. You know that once we learn something, we are very enthusiastic, very interested to do something. So having just learned to drive and hardly ever having the opportunity to use the car, and hardly ever having the opportunity to use a car. So this is also something, when you learn driving, it is something new and you want to drive. Okay, then I readily accept. I say, yes, I want to go there, and whatsoever you want to do, willingly, you are going to get ready for this readily, quickly. Yes, I am ready. So I drove Dad into Mijas. And promised to pick him up at 4 p.m. And I said that, well, at 4 p.m. I am going to pick you up. Drove to a nearby, okay, at 4 p.m. then drove to a nearby garage, and then I drove the car to the nearby workshop, and dropped off the car. I left the car there. I dropped off the car, drop off. Normally we say, please drop me there. Can you drop me there? So drop off, left the car there. And I hope that you know it very well. When there is a double F, we are just going to detach something. When there is single F, we are going to connect that one. So dropped off the car, left the car. Where did he left the car? In the garage, in the workshop. Okay, so he did this. Because I had a few hours to spare, because there was time, few hours say. So I decided to catch a couple of movies. So he said that how I am going to utilize this time. He said, okay, let's go to watch movies. Couple of movies, some movies, couple of movies, some movies. And at a theater near the garage. That was near the workshop. However, I became so immersed, involved oneself deeply, immersed. And I want to give you one example, that example of video games. Nowadays, a lot of people, when they enter into online gaming, they forget. My own son, he uses mobile phone for many hours sometime when we don't check him, and he got immersed, involved oneself deeply, that not having the consciousness that what is going on, what will happen. No, involved. So he said that I became so immersed in the films that I completely lost track of time. I completely lost track of time. That what happened, that I lost the track of time. I didn't know. Like we play video game, we use internet. Oh, what happens? An hour gone, 2 hours gone. We don't know. Same is the situation there. And this boy of 16 years of age, what happened to him? He failed to stay fully aware that the time has passed. So he was there, and I became so immersed in the films that I completely lost track of time. When the last movie had finished, I looked down at my watch. Oh, that is the time. I looked down at the watch. The time. When the last movie had finished, I looked down at my watch. It was 6 o'clock. I was 2 hours late. Mean that what was his appointment with his father? The time was 4 p.m. and it was 6 p.m. So that was a big disaster for him, that he didn't keep the time track and he lost the track of time and he got immersed. So this was the situation. This is the first paragraph. Okay, I hope that you got it. And then I knew, second paragraph, I knew Dad would be angry if he found out I had been watching movies, that my father will become angry. Now, I hope that, as I told you earlier, that you are going to underline the structures, like this one, that I had been watching movies. If he found out I had been watching movies. Second, he'd never let me drive again. He would never let me drive again. He will say, no, you can't drive. Then I decided to tell him that the car needed some repairs. Now he had made his own point, his own opinion. And his own opinion was like this. This opinion was like here, the last word we are having, because this is very important, lied. Lied is something, an intentionally false statement. Intentionally, that you know that you are telling wrong and you say that thing. That is called intentionally telling something wrong. So that was the situation. He decided to tell something wrong to his father. And what was that decision? What did he want to tell to his father? Okay, so he said that I will tell my father that the car needed some repairs and that they had taken longer than had been expected. I drove up to the place where we had planned to meet. We had planned to meet, me and my father, that we are going to meet at 4 p.m. and saw Dad waiting patiently. Dad was there waiting patiently. Patiently mean that he was not, he showed tolerance. He was not angry. He was not rash that, oh, why did you come late? No. He was patiently there, showing tolerance without being annoyed. He was not annoyed. Okay. So he was very calm and he was very composed. He was there and he patiently waited for me, sure, for 2 hours, from 4 to 6. Now you can imagine that if you are waiting for someone for 2 hours, what will happen? And then I drove up to the place where we had planned to meet and saw Dad waiting patiently on the corner. I apologized. I said, sorry, apologize. I say, I'm really sorry. Sorry, I apologize for being late, and told him that I'd come as quick as I could. I had come as quick as I could. That was the fastest way I could come, though I was late. But the car, and this was the lie, but the car had needed some major repairs, but the car needed some repairs. There was some maintenance work, there was some fault, so that was the reason. I'll never forget the look he gave me. I'll never forget the look. The look he gave me, I will never forget. I will never forget the look he gave me. And he looked at me, and I'll never forget that look, because that was really surprising. That was showing his from his the feeling that, well, how did he feel, and that was the expression. And he said, this is the last two sentences. We are going to wind it up. Okay, so here he says, I'm disappointed that you feel you have to lie to me, Jason. What? He said, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Disappointed. You failed to fulfill my expectation. You disappointed me. You let down me. I'm disappointed that you feel you have to lie to me, Jason. Then my question was, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, because I was telling a lie, and I was just saying, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm telling the truth. And the same second statement, I'm telling the truth. The person who is telling the truth is not going to say that I am telling the truth. So here we are going to stop for this, and we are going to continue our lesson in our next lesson, and we are going to complete this story. I hope that you have learned something, and you are going to read it, and we are going to meet in our next lesson. Best of luck, have a very nice day, and Allah Hafiz.